The Talk by TazManic. They really should have expected this sort of behavior, being the son of one marauder and raised by the other two. It shouldn't have come as a surprise when they heard the distinct sound of a teenage boy sneaking out of the house in the middle of the night. It was just that Harry had always been surprisingly easy and well-behaved kid, all things considered. Sure, he got into a little mischief now and then, but honestly, Sirius and Remus would have been more concerned if he hadn't. And it was always harmless fun. Sneaking around, though, and hiding things from his guardians was unusual. Harry had always been honest with Sirius and Remus, and they were always honest with him. The first time they woke up, the boy was sneaking back into the house in the early hours of the morning, tiptoeing past their bedroom and closing the door to his own with the softest of clicks. "Sleep all right, Pronkslet?" Sirius had asked him later on breakfast. "Yeah, fine," Harry responded distractedly, paying more attention to reading the back of the cereal box than his godfather's question. That was what bothered Remus the most. Sneaking around is one thing, but lying? Harry never lied to us before. Sirius hummed in agreement, staring at the ceiling. It was late at night, and the front door closing had woken them yet again. "Bet it's a girl." Remus's eyes shut up. "Do you think?" Sirius shrugged. "Well, sure, he's 16. He turned into his side to face the other man. I thought I saw a hickey on his neck when he got back from school at the start of summer. He told me he got a bit of Cornish pixie. He told me he got bit by a Cornish pixie." Remus snorted at the blatant lie, then his eyes went wide. "You don't think he's having sex, do you?" Bloody hell," Sirius groaned, running his hand through his hair. "He's 16. We were younger than that, Sirius. Man and Mooney, I feel old." "You are old. We both are. We have a 16-year-old who's probably sexually active." "Stop saying it!" This means we'll have to have the talk with him," said Remus reasonably, ignoring Sirius's whine of protest. "We have to, Pats. We should have done it earlier." Sirius groaned and rolled into his stomach, burying his face into his pillow. "I'm sure Prongs will be having a laugh at our expense in the afterlife. His gay mates giving his son the sex talk." Remus chuckled softly, and Sirius peeked up at him. "You're the teacher, Mooney. Why don't you just do it?" "That's not how parenting works, Sirius. It's your turn." My turn?" "Your turn. Remember, we used to take turns up at night for him, changing him." Remus rolled his eyes. "He hasn't been in a diaper for 15 years, Sirius. He's grown." Sirius made another distressed sound at that, and it had not been muffled by a pillow. Had it not been muffled by the pillow, Remus would have sworn it sounded like "my baby." Sighing, Remus began to run his fingers through Sirius's hair. "You're being dramatic, you pawns. We'll both have a talk with him tomorrow, all right?" Sirius growled. "Sirius, fine." The following morning was the same awkward tension at breakfast table. Harry remained uncharacteristically silent as he ate, while Sirius and Remus wordlessly debated who would be the first to speak up. With one final, meaningful glance from Remus, Sirius gave in. "Harry, there's something we need to talk about." Harry paused, mouth open and spoon in hand. He blinked, looking from one guardian to the other. "Am I in trouble?" "Of course not, Harry. You haven't done anything wrong," Remus said. Then, after a moment, he quirked an eyebrow at the boy. That we know of, at least. Unless there's something you'd like to share. Harry shrugged and shook his head, continuing about his breakfast. Remus gave Sirius another look, urging him to press on. Harry, you know, there's this thing, Sirius stammered awkwardly as his godson stared at him, slowly chewing. It's, um, well, there's bees and they with birds and all and and if they well, really, I've never been quite sure how they have anything to do with it. There was a loud clang as Harry dropped his spoon and choked on his cereal. Bloody hell! Is this a sex talk? Remus gave him a stern look. Language, Harry, he scolded softly. Sorry, Mooney, Harry apologized quickly once he stopped choking, his face beet red as his eyes like saucers behind the frames of his glasses. Oh, bloody hell. He buried his face in his hands. Nothing to be embarrassed about, Harry. You're 16. We just thought it might maybe time we talked about this to be sure you were well informed. Remus explained, always the calm and rational one compared to the theatrics of his lover and their godson. Harry's hand shot up through his hair, ruffling it nervously in the way that always made both Sirius and Remus need to remind themselves that it wasn't James sitting across of them. It's a little late for that, that's all, he muttered, sinking down in his seat. Remus's breath hitched and Sirius's hand twitched anxiously. Remus continued slowly. We didn't even know you had a girlfriend, Harry. Harry let out a nervous laugh and shook his head. I don't. You don't, Sirius repeated, watching the boy skeptically. Listen, Harry, we know you've been sneaking out of the house. You've always been honest with us. We just want to know what's going on. We want to make sure you're safe. You're 16. It's normal that you're dating. You don't have to lie to us. I'm not lying, said Harry sincerely, finally looking up to meet his godfather's eyes. I don't have a girlfriend. Sirius frowned. Then why are you? Remus held up a hand, suddenly understanding. Sirius, no, Mooney, if he doesn't have a girlfriend, then why would he be? Sirius, you idiot, he doesn't have a girlfriend. But then, Sirius, both Harry and Remus shouted. What? He doesn't have a girlfriend, Remus said slowly, emphasizing. Harry, who was now the color of a ripe tomato, groaned and tugged at his hair. I've got a boyfriend. Sirius stared across the table, mouth agape, blinking at him. Oh, he said finally, clearing his throat. well, Merlin, you'd think that we had have caught on earlier, wouldn't you? Remus nodded in agreement before looking back at Harry. Well, all that aside, Harry, why wouldn't you have just told us you were seeing someone instead of sneaking about? It's not like you. It's not as if you need to hide the fact that you like blokes. In case you haven't noticed, for the past 16 years. So do we, Sirius Max, folding his arms over his chest. Harry sighed, averting his eyes and pushing a spoon around his bowl. It's not the fact that I like blokes, it's the bloke that I like I thought might be a problem. Remus and Sirius exchanged confused looks. Harry, you know you can come to us for anything, said Remus gently. We support you no matter what. Sirius nodded enthusiastically. Absolutely. So, out with them. Who's the lucky lad that's stolen my dashing godson's heart, eh? Harry let out another heavy sigh and muttered something under his breath. Remus frowned. Sorry, Harry, didn't quite catch that. Harry glared from under his eyelashes at the two older men. He took a deep breath. Draco Malfoy. What? Sirius, I mean, ooh, what a surprise! Sirius finished weakly, reaching down to rub his leg where Remus had kicked him. There was an awkward silence as Harry stared down at the table. Remus shook his head disapprovingly at Sirius' outburst. Biting his lip, Harry stood up. Um, I'm just going to go to my room. Sit, ordered both Remus and Sirius, and Harry sunk back into his seat. A grin had appeared on Sirius's face. Now, that's now that that's out of the way, we can have a talk. The talk we were meant to have with you. Harry groaned. Do we have to? Remus nodded. Safe sex is important, Harry, no matter who you're with. Merlin. Now, proper lubricating spells. Harry's hat hit the table with a loud thud. Hello. That was a short one, but I read this one today and I just wanted to record it because it made me laugh so hard. Poor Harry. Honestly, I believe everyone has had this talk with their parents or guardians, and let's just say I can feel where he's at. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day, and as always, I put the link to this fic in the description so you can visit the site and give kudos to this amazing writer. Like I said, have a nice day.